Hi, I'm Greg Aiken, part of the missions team here at North Fresno. As a missions team, we wanted to highlight some of our members who are on mission right here in our own city. One of those members is Kevin Reifman. Kevin serves with InterVarsity Christian Fellowship. InterVarsity is an organization that seeks to build witnessing communities on campus among students through Bible study and discipleship. I first met Kevin 10 years ago. My wife Sarah and I were asked to lead a global project with InterVarsity, and so we took 10 college students overseas to a country we'd never been to, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Kevin was one of those students. Kevin's going to share a little bit more about his ministry, and you're also going to get to hear a testimony from an InterVarsity student who's also an alumnus of the Micah Project. We'd really like to ask you to consider supporting Kevin through finances and through prayer. We've included a Google Forms link on the church website. You can click there to sign up to get updates about Kevin's ministry or to find out how you can help support him.
Hey, Marissa. So thanks for taking this time to meet up with me over Zoom and chat for a bit. So I am hoping to update North Fresno Church folks on what's been happening with InterVarsity in the last year and share about what God is doing on campus at Fresno State. And so I was hoping to just ask you a couple questions about your experience with InterVarsity and hear more of your story. So first question is, how have you seen God work during your time in InterVarsity?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me, Kevin. I think some of the ways that I've seen God work would be one through biblical community, the way that in my 4 years at Fresno State, before knowing about InterVarsity, I was kind of always wondering, like, okay, like what's a community I can get plugged into and really get connected with, especially, and I wanted it Christ-centered because, I mean, there's a lot of communities you can get involved with in college, but I really wanted to continue that pursuit. So I think being able to be a part of a group that is God-centered is where there are different individuals all on a similar mission with similar or different interpretations or takes on what it means to be a Christian. Like you can learn and grow from each other, which I thought was very good and was very helpful and fruitful for my own growth. And then another thing would be that being a part of InterVarsity, I have been able to get connected to different cohorts and different programs within it, and getting to hear about the different ministries that are happening across California at the different colleges, and seeing the way that like God has been working there, and also like in like how in my own personal group here at Fresno State, we were able to learn from each other, but also expanding that and learning from different colleges across California was pretty good. And I really loved like to see the way God was moving in that way.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thanks, Marissa. My second question is, what is something that maybe you've learned or an experience that you had in InterVarsity that you're hoping to take with you now that you have just graduated?
Yeah. Things that I have learned, I think two big things have stuck out to me. One would be like, well, the importance of biblical community, but like the importance of staying connected to that. So for me personally, it is now that I'm not going to be in college anymore, that I'm going into this next season of life, the importance of figuring out like how to stay connected to the body, like different groups to like join or look into, just like figuring that out, but making sure that I'm staying connected. That's a big one that I've taken away. Another one would be the gifting of leadership, because this last year I've been able to be a part of the leadership at Fresno State on the InterVarsity team, and just continuing to pursue that gifting and continuing to grow and grow into that even more.
Yeah, that's awesome. I definitely affirm and appreciate your leadership in this past year, and glad that you're a part of, you were able to bring your experience from the Micah Project and other places and to bless InterVarsity with that. And Marissa is getting ready to serve with SALT in Zimbabwe in a few months. So if you are interested in hearing more about that, track her down or let me know and I can connect you to her. But yeah, thanks, Marissa.
You're welcome.
So Marissa's been involved with InterVarsity for a couple of years, up until graduating in May. And this last year, she was instrumental in planting a new ministry of InterVarsity to Latina and Latino students on campus. Marissa did an amazing job at promoting the group and inviting her friends, both Christian friends that wanted a space to get involved with other college students and non-Christians seeking Jesus and learning the Bible maybe for the first time or learning it in a new way. So thank you for investing in Marissa. She is one of the most amazing student leaders that I've ever had in my time on staff with InterVarsity. And thank you, North Fresno, for investing in college students and young adults through the Micah Project and through your partnership with InterVarsity. And I wanted to share a couple other of highlights of what God has been doing in InterVarsity in the past few months. One thing that I want to share is that our ministry for nursing students, Nurses Christian Fellowship, has been thriving actually in the past couple of months. This small group is led by a retired nurse and all happens over Zoom now. And this group has been growing as nursing students are not only hungry for a community and a space to connect, but also thinking more deeply about the spiritual side of nursing, especially now that we're in this situation with the coronavirus nationally and healthcare workers are highlighted. So this is a space, we're providing space for them to decompress, to be friends with one another, but also to think deeply and meaningfully about how to integrate their faith with their nursing practice and bring those two things together. And that's been just an amazing and a rewarding thing to be a part of in the last few months and in the past year that we started it. Another place where we've seen God at work in InterVarsity is in our graduating seniors, our class of 2020 seniors. And I know that we'd all agree that it's a bummer that for the class of 2020, graduation ceremonies were canceled and changed, and there is a real sense of loss and a lack of closure around students' time in school and time in college. But we have been trying really hard to be intentional about connecting with our graduating seniors through Zoom calls. I've been connecting with every single senior graduating, and we have brought them all together to create space for them to process any fears, any anxieties around graduating and going into the real world, especially with the circumstances that we have in the world right now, the scary time that it is. I know that our seniors have really benefited from that. It's helped give them a sense of closure. It's helped give them a place to process both the excitements and the joys and the concerns and the worries. And so God has shown up in that, and I'm grateful that we've been able to support our seniors in a weird time to graduate from college, to be honest. So I also wanted to talk about looking forward to this coming fall semester. So we're in the summer now, and as many or most of you may have heard the news already, classes at Fresno State and Fresno City College are expected to continue to be mostly online, with a few exceptions for in-person classes, but we're still mostly going to be online in the fall. So what does that mean for InterVarsity? What does that mean for our campus ministry? The short answer is, honestly, I don't know exactly what that looks like in the fall. But I am approaching that with joy and excitement, with an openness for the new things that God wants to do, and expectation that the Lord will be teaching us in this time. And over the summer, me and my team, our regional InterVarsity staff team, and InterVarsity nationally are all going to be hard at work praying and seeking the Lord and thinking about what good ministry looks like in the fall. And we will continue to do ministry in the fall. We will change to adapt to the circumstances, but we will not go away. And I'm convinced now more than ever, InterVarsity is needed for college students. College students still need Jesus. They still need to hear the gospel and form a relationship with God if they haven't. Christian students still need a place to grow. And many of you, most of you, are probably well aware that loneliness and mental health issues plague college students today. And I'm convinced that with the lack of in-person classes and connection, that these mental health issues, this loneliness, will only escalate. And so InterVarsity is more needed than ever to help students connect intentionally in community, to make friends, to have emotional support, to have that space to connect and push back against loneliness, push back against both spiritual darkness and emotional darkness. And so we really, really appreciate your prayers this summer as we plan for the fall, and we need your support more than ever. So I would love to connect with you personally to talk about how you can partner with us in prayer, through volunteering, and through finances. And I would love to do that. Thanks for listening.